All right, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Rashad Milligan. If you are new to the channel, this is the World of 5K subs. First things first, congratulations to Asia Wilson. Congratulations to Asia Wilson. Congratulations to Asia Wilson. Congratulations to Asia Wilson. Hey. Asia Wilson, man. Three-time WNBA MVP now, and it was unanimous this time. So I know it was a big deal last time around. She got the fourth place vote. This time, no fourth place vote. Nothing but first place votes for Miss Asia Wilson of the Vegas Aces. When you look at this conversation, it was pretty much the Aces this season didn't look like the super teams of old. Chelsea Gray came back from injury kind of very, very close to the midway point of the season in July, end of June. And she hasn't really looked like herself on a consistent basis all season long. She hasn't looked like her old self, the point guard that she's been the best point guard in the league. She didn't look like that this season. Kelsey Plum, you know, there some nights, other nights wasn't the most consistent either this season. Jackie Young played well this season. Jackie Young played well this season. Has been out a couple games, things of that sort. So I'll say all of this to say it hasn't just been the general super team effort that you've seen. AC's getting older, of course. They brought Tiff Hayes in, but Tiff Hayes is coming out of retirement, so it just hasn't been just necessarily the super squad that Vegas has always been. And a lot of those nights where Vegas was struggling, when Vegas was trying to put it together, when Vegas was kind of fumbling, stumbling amongst themselves, Asia Wilson, 40.15 rebound games, 40.10 rebound games, 40 point whatever rebound games were the games that really took them over the hump, and they wouldn't have won those games if it weren't for those kind of generational performances. So you have to salute Asia. It was a unanimous decision. Um, from my opinion versus what actually happened, the facts. Shout out to all the media that voted, the 67 media members. I was not one of them. Full transparency. And I probably don't get invited to vote for MVP and stuff like that because I ain't be showing up to All Star when I they invite me and stuff like that. I need to start showing up to All Star and just be a little more active as well on the scene, and then I'll be invited to vote. Anyways, V Nafisa, darn near got unanimous second place. Pretty well deserved for her. Amazing season in Minnesota, bouncing back. I think this is her second season back or whatever, coming back from, her baby and stuff like that. Or it might be her first season back. But regardless, she's played extremely well this season, has Minnesota in that kind of like second seed, third seed, like all season long and stuff like that. So usually a team that gets overlooked because of the star power of other teams. And when you think of the Caitlins and the Angels and the Asias and even if you look at Dallas kind of near the bottom out of the playoffs, Enrique's, and there's so many other players and stars around the league who get more attention and get more press, get more attention, like I just said, than Fee. And so for Fee to get this season, I think it's well deserved, and it's showing that the media was paying attention. Brianna Stewart, Stewie, not necessarily the traditional year that you've seen for Stewie this year. I know a lot of people, including myself, will probably argue that Sabrina Ionescu might have even been a more consistent, impactful player for New York than Stewie was this year. And that's not saying that I think Sab is better than Stewie, because I think Stewie's better than Sab. But just from an impact standpoint this year, I think Sab, you can make an argument. You could be like, oh, okay, I see where you're coming from. So shout out Stewie. Caitlin Clark in the top five. Um, to be honest, like you have to say it is what it is. You have to give your props up to Caitlin for doing what she's done, setting a bunch of records, assist record, things of that sort. Of course, turnover record, just like with Angel Reese, where you say, oh, rebounds, and it's like, okay, also field goal percentage and just missing shots at the rim. Uh, you have to say turnovers and defense for Caitlin Clark, but man, Caitlin's impact, Caitlin's performance this season is undeniable. And I don't think Indiana makes the playoffs without her. You have to just keep it a bean with yourself there. AT Alyssa Thomas. Alyssa drops a little bit this year. Last year she was in the conversation for should Alyssa Thomas get MVP after averaging a triple double, first player in WNBA history to do so. This season, a bit of a drop off, as you see now, falling to fifth in voting. Sixth, Sabrina Ionescu, I just mentioned. Seventh, Nneka Onwumike. Shout out to Nneka, man. Her first season out there out west in the Pacific with Skylar Diggins Smith, Jewel Lloyd, that entire experiment. Uh, Pretty good team. Pretty good team as expected. Haven't succeeded expectations, haven't gone over above expectations, but they also haven't underachieved. And I think that's a nice spot to be in going into the playoffs. You only need to get hot at the right time. Kai Copper had an amazing season for Phoenix. She's the reason why Phoenix is in the playoffs. Yes, Phoenix has Sophie Cunningham. Yes, Phoenix has Tasha Cloud. Yes, Phoenix has, DT and BG. But at the end of the day, Kai Copper was the new piece. Uh, and that kind of puzzle that made it go because they had most of those players that same core outside of Tasha Cloud, of course, last year. And I think Cod is the biggest reason she's kind of like their best scorer, their best player, to be honest, to be frank. So nice to see Cod Copper get her love. Enrique Gomawale, I think the only reason why she's this low is because Dallas was like one of the worst teams in the league. They missed the playoffs, and that is that. But you have to look at what she was dealing with. Tasha Howard is a decent player, but Tasha Howard's about to leave. It's just inconsistencies all year with that team, with that roster revolving door. Monique Billings kind of started off with the team, and then they couldn't bring her back, and then they got rid of Veronica Burton early on in the season. She ends up going to Connecticut, so it's just like no stability there in Dallas this season. Jonquel Jones getting some love. I think this is the top 10 still. I don't know. Kelsey Mitchell. I don't know if she's the leading scorer on Indiana, but she plays like it, and she's had a sensational season. Typical. Kelsey and Tiffany Mitchell, those are two just scorers all the time and stuff like that. So um, it's nice to see her get her flowers as well. Angel Reese. Angel Reese had a sensational season before she hurt her wrist. Um, More specifically, a sensational first half of the season. The same way that Caitlin came on like towards the end of the first half and then second half came out extremely strong. That's kind of like the opposite of Angel Reese, at least offensively. She succeeded my expectations. She tailed off at the end there, but she still was a double machine, still was doing what she had to do and made Chicago look a lot better. Shout out to Camila as well for like her helping on the defensive side of the ball when they were both in the game at the same time as Twin Towers. Excuse me, sir. Dearica Hamby definitely deserves this look of receiving some type of votes, fifth place votes, because she had a sensational season, a bounce back season. Over there in LA, they were just the worst team in the league, so she couldn't get much more than fifth place votes. DB Dewana Bonner, Old Faithful. Old Faithful, doing what she always does. Consistent, you can kind of bet on what she's going to do every single season. Kayla McBride, she went off one game against the Dream. Um, she's had a lot of good games this season. So the one fifth place vote, I acknowledge it and I respect it. So that is that. Asia Wilson's press conference will be tonight. So that will be out tonight on the channel. I'll be covering the Falcons game. So um, I look to upload it then in the press box, but the press box Wi-Fi can be a bit spotty because it is just the Mercedes-Benz Stadium's Wi-Fi, and which is open to everybody. So uploading a video to YouTube might take a little while, but I will be uploading it for you guys on this channel to see. I'm pretty sure WNBA is going to stream it, but if you just like watch your Aces and Asia Wilson stuff on this channel, it's going to be there for you tonight. Roll the 5 pesos, by the way. My name is Rashad Milligan. Here we go into the playoffs. Mad late playoff prediction. At the time I'm recording this, it's 11 a.m. The first game is less than 2 hours away. So by the time this is uploaded, it'll probably be 12 p.m., which is less than an hour from when the games get underway. But I feel like it is my duty, my due diligence as a person on here to do this. So here are my predictions for the entire WNBA playoffs. Do I think the Dream are gonna get one game? I'm gonna say no, man. I can't lie to you. I can't lie to you. The Dream are an unpredictable team because they have the talent to get one win. It's just they are so not very dependable. They're unpredictable because they have the talent. And I wouldn't be shocked if they won a game because Jordan Canada, excuse me, Tina Charles, Ryan Howard, Nas Hillman, who else you have on that squad that's like one of the main pieces and stuff like that. They could really hold something down. But I say all of this to say they have a very solid core. Oh, Alicia Gray, I'm tripping. Alicia Gray, that's 5 right there. Very solid group, very solid core, talented. Cheyenne Parker's hurt, of course. Aerial Powers is hurt, of course. Those two are out, but you have a strong core of players and stuff like that that can really do something. They're just not very dependable. So I'm gonna go New York sweep here. I don't think New York plays with their food. If I'm wrong, I eat crowd in front of Atlanta, my hometown. All right, Minnesota Lynx and the Phoenix Mercury, round 1. Okay, I'm gonna go Minnesota here. Minnesota 2-1. I think Phoenix gets one here. And this is me just not, yeah, that's disrespectful to Minnesota, but I'm gonna go Phoenix gets one here. This is the end of Diana Taurasi's rose, so her last game will be in Phoenix, game 3 in Phoenix. Yes. Okay, here we go. The other rounds. Vegas and Seattle. So the meme from NBA All-Star Weekend, Asia Wilson, Joel Lloyd. Got to go Vegas here. 3 games. It goes all 3. I think Vegas gets it. Vegas pulls it out. Game 3 on the road in Seattle. That's a tough one though, for sure. That's the toughest one for sure. Okay, Connecticut and the Fever. I think Indiana gets one, but I got Connecticut ultimately winning 2-1, and Connecticut winning game 3 on the road in Indiana. Semifinals. Obviously, the obvious thing, the relationship bowl, the marriage bowl, whatever people are calling it, between Dejanay and Alyssa, are just, that entire dynamic and thing. Guys already know that's how it go on the internet. So yeah. But like I said, Caitlin for taking Indiana to the playoffs is applauded. They would not make the playoffs without her. New York versus the Aces in the semifinals, best of 5. So we got a finals rematch in the semifinal. New York is obviously the better team this year, but it's difficult for me to pick against Asia Wilson and the Aces. I think Asia and the Aces pull it out after seeing the choke job that that New York pulled last year. I got the Aces winning, bro. I got the Aces winning 3-2. I got them winning game 5 once again, bro. I got the Aces doing that, man. So there we go. Uh Minnesota, Connecticut. Uh, this is one of those things. It's like Minnesota's been the better team this season, but Connecticut is a team that usually always gets in the finals for some reason. So I'm gonna just say Connecticut, bro. And that's terrible. It might be time for a new day, a new leaf. Fee puts them over the hump as the number 2 overall. And now we got to Fee Asia finals. But I'm going to go Connecticut, bro. Connecticut, they just have such a solid team, that front court. This is their last run. This is their last go. I think they give it that group of Bree Jones, DB, and AT. But yeah, I'm going to go Connecticut there in the finals, excuse me. So now you got Connecticut and the Aces, a rematch of the finals. What was that? How many games do I have Minnesota, Connecticut going? I got it going 4 games. I got it going 4 games. I don't have it going the full 5. All right. A rematch of the finals a couple of years ago between Connecticut and the Aces. This one, I have to go. It's just difficult to pick against Asia Wilson, man. Connecticut has a better team. New York has a better team. You can argue that Seattle's going to give them a run, but it's difficult for me to pick against the Aces. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll live with it. I'm going to go Aces and 5. Aces and 5. There we go. Those are my picks. That's my prediction for the WNBA Playoffs 2024. My name is Rashad Milligan. As always, if you are new to the channel, this is the road to 5K subs. Until next time, please take care of yourself and remain safe.